Hello, everyone. What a week. This has been an absolutely historic week. We've been on the right side of the market, thankfully. We've been trending through the market, treading carefully, being aggressive where we need to be aggressive, being smart, being intelligent, staying on the right side of the market very, very well. And thankfully, this week has been a fantastic blessing of a week. Everyone in the group is very, very happy. We caught the dips. We've remained bullish into support, into weakness, when the vast majority of people online were extremely, extremely bearish. My last video, I went in detail about the reasons why I thought we would be bullish and why we should be buying the dip. And that worked out like an absolute charm. So if you guys want more details about that, please make sure to check out my last video from last week. And I go a bit more in detail about those things. Now, moving forward, what are the next steps? How are we going to continue moving in the market? And there are a few things that we need to look at, but in general, the vast majority of my thought process now is yes, we might get a bit of a pullback, but overall, in general, over the next few weeks, we should continue rising. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at what the next steps are for the market. We're going to take a look at the SP500, the NASDAQ, the Russell, the large tech stocks, and primarily the VIX. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with the video. So first and foremost, once again, these are a list of the various swing trades that I posted for the month of April. These are the results of the swing trades, the prices that we got them at once we, had that big pop to the upside, the percentage gain for all of these trades as well, and the average percentage increase. These results speak for themselves. We're actually missing Beto, but regardless, this is 22 for 22 for the month of April for our swing trades so far. And what's even more interesting is that we have a signal bot that also alerts long and shorts on stocks, crypto, forex, and futures trades throughout the day, almost daily. So we get multiple different trades on multiple different tickers, and clearly people are very, very happy. You can see that the results are speaking for themselves. We got short signals at 530. It dropped back down to 490. We got long signals afterward. The bot in and of itself, it trades based off of things and parameters that I fed into it. So my engineers coded this out based off of things that I look for personally. And it's doing a very, very good job at applying my strategies, taking the human factor out of it, and applying my strategy into stocks, crypto, and the other various asset classes. So if you guys want access to these things, you guys want access to my trades, my day trades, swing trades, my options signals, my signal bot, as well as my trading view indicator, and the entire community of traders that are there every step of the way trying to make life easier and better for ourselves as a community. Not to mention one-on-one help, coaching that you guys would want as well. You guys could create a ticket. Down here, you guys could create a ticket. Once you guys create the ticket, we speak individually, one-on-one with anything that you guys need. All of that, all in one. The results speak for themselves. You guys want access, click the link down below. Click the link in my bio. And you guys gain access to all these different things. And so far, so good. It's been doing very, very well. 2025, we're going to have a very, very strong year. So far, quarter one, heading into quarter two, we've been on a tear. So I wanted to share all of that with you. I'm also going to be updating things as we continue. You guys wanted to see updates as they occur. Well, here they are. All right. So we're going to continue. All right. So anyway, let's go on and check out the rest of the video for the market analysis. So what I first want to look at is Bitcoin, actually. So the reason why I want to look at Bitcoin is because when the overall market was capitulating and drawing down very, very dramatically, right? Bitcoin was acting like a store of value. It was doing very, very well. It barely dropped. And relative to the rest of the market, these these other stocks and everything, they dropped 20, 30%. Bitcoin only dropped about 15%, which is very, very good, actually. And what I'm getting out of this, and what I'm getting out of gold also rallying, right, is that the market is still stable. The market is still showing strength overall, okay? Because if you guys remember from COVID, gold was not a store of value. During the COVID crash, people sold their gold, they sold their silver, they sold crypto because, you know, generally gold is, oh my God, it's a store of value, it's safe haven, whatever, etc. Everything was getting sold off. So the fact that gold and Bitcoin are still holding very well into this sell-off shows me that this sell-off is not something to be extremely fearful of. Instead, it is something that is going to hopefully bounce back as we see, and it's going to rally back up or continue to show some sort of bullishness at these dips. And that's purely based off of just looking at Bitcoin and gold. So that's my thought process on those two. So now we're going to have to look at the VIX. Okay, and the VIX is very, very important because the VIX has an inverse relationship to the market. If the VIX is rising, the overall market should be dropping. Okay, so what we're seeing right now, very simply, is the VIX is holding above $30. If the VIX continues holding above $30, then the market is generally very volatile. And currently, we see the VIX creating a bit of a bear flag. Okay? Bear flags are generally bearish setups. So if the VIX is going to drop and this bear flag is going to break to the downside, right? Because it has an inverse relationship to the market. And if the VIX, very simply, if the VIX drops, right, based off of this bear flag, that means that the market should be rising. So that is essentially what we're looking at. We're going to have to see if this bear flag breaks down below the $30 level on the VIX and if the market is going to bounce as a result. If the VIX drops, the market is going to bounce. Okay, so that's currently what we're seeing right now. The VIX is not looking too bullish, and we should get a bit of a pullback on the VIX, in my opinion, based off of just purely what we're looking at on the VIX. So the main levels, so this is a chart of the S&P 500. The main levels, regardless of how dirty this chart looks, are these white lines right here. So what we really want to see is if the S&P 500 can hold above this zone right here, at above this 524 to 531 area. If it can hold above this zone, then this is going to be very, very bullish for the overall market. Clearly, we had a big pop to the upside on the positive tariff news that Trump was going to be pausing the tariffs, right? Then we had negative news that China is actually increasing the tariffs to 130%. And then we pop back up above 530. So as you can see, this is a very, very important zone, technically. If we can rally back above, even if we rally back up to 540 and pull back to 535, 530 area, if we can hold this zone as support and bounce back above, this is going to be very, very bullish. And that is currently really what we need to look for on the S&P 500. Similar sort of concept on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is also at a very, very important level of support and resistance. And this is also a very, very important zone here on the NASDAQ QQQ daily chart that we're looking at. So the NASDAQ, once again, needs to hold above this zone here from 440 to 454. It needs to hold and needs to find some level of support here. And currently, it's the same concept as the S&P. If we rally back above the 460 area, pull back down to 455-ish, and then hold support here, then there's a big chance that we can continue rallying. We want to see momentum continue rising to the upside. Bulls want to see if this momentum can continue. The VIX is showing bearishness. So if the VIX is going to show bearishness, the overall market should be showing bullishness. The overall tech stocks, they're bottoming out. The NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the IWM, showing some sort of bull flag. Bull flags being formed here. right? Bull flags are generally bullish patterns. We're holding this level of support as well on the NASDAQ. So this is a bull flag, correct? Bull flag is generally ripped to the upside. This is a bull flag holding a very major zone of support. While the VIX is also dropping, while Bitcoin and gold are also rising, while all of these tech stocks are also showing strength. Apple showing strength. Microsoft showing strength. NVIDIA, AMD, Google, Amazon, the IWM, not so much, but these tech stocks, Netflix, Meta, Netflix, Meta, not so much, but all of these stocks are showing a lot of strength, essentially. We even have crude oil bouncing off the lows. If I can see the chart of crude oil, where is it? Right there. So crude oil was even bouncing off the lows. In general, the overall market is showing signs of bullishness. It wants to show some strength. Just understand now. Great. Hamid is saying that we're going to get a rise to the upside. Spectacular. What you need to understand is that this week, we could get a bit of a pullback still. This does not necessarily need to hold this zone. We could fall back down to 510, to 500 area. We could retest these prior lows here. All I'm saying is regardless of how much we drop, regardless of how much further we drop, we can make completely new lows. We could see 460. All I'm saying is that within this week or next week, the market, if we don't already bottom out over here on the S&P 500 and the overall market, within the next week or two, the market is screaming some sort of bullish bottoming out process. If we can bottom out, this is a very, very good chance that all of the weakness that we're going to see in the market is going to be a very, very good buying opportunity and longing opportunity. So far, we've been doing very, very well. If we get some solid shorting opportunities, most likely momentum is going to start shifting lower if we break below 523 on the SPY in the short term. So if we break below 523, we can really definitely see 510, 505-ish area, and then the market is going to have to make a decision down here. It could be a good shorting opportunity in the short term for a scalp, and I am going to be trading both sides regardless of what happens in the market. And the bot is also going to be providing high-quality signals. It has over a 90% success rate, close to a 95% success rate, actually, on all of these different tickers. It's been doing very, very well on Forex, crypto, futures as well, and stocks. Essentially, if you guys want access to all of these different things, the results speak for themselves. This is my thought process. The fact that Apple, Microsoft, Google, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ are all doing very well. The fact that the VIX is also showing weakness is showing that there should be some sort of a move to the upside. All of these different things combined in one, that is my thought process for a continued move to the upside. And we're just going to have to take it one step at a time. But so far, I've been correct. I've been very correct, generally. I was screaming to be bullish down here at 480. I was saying that this would be one of the, let's just go ahead and listen to the video that I posted last Sunday, actually. This might be one of the best give me a second. Let's go ahead and do that here. This might be one of the best long opportunities I've seen in a very, very long time. And in today's video, we're going to go over the reasons why you guys still have portfolio. And look at where, what the price of the ES was, 48.80. That are intact, because you're going to want to buy some dips. This is not financial advice, but we're going to go over the details. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We're going to take a look at the S&P 500. I try to tell you. So, once again, I've been correct most of the time. So if you guys want to continue and you guys want access to everything that I'm doing here, the link to join is down below. The results speak for themselves, and of course, the proof is in the pudding. So I hope to see you guys in the group. I will see you guys Monday, bright and early. We're going to continue making money and continue navigating the market in the most emotionless, intelligent way that we possibly can. All right. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Spend time. If you guys made any mistakes, mistakes are a part of the process. You cannot beat yourself up over your mistakes. What you need to realize is that you need to learn from them, adapt, and do your best to remove emotions from your trading. Lower your position sizes in times of turbulence. Have more money ready to deploy, and take things very easy and patiently. There will be better opportunities to go long. This, in my opinion, when the S&P 500 is already at 530, this is not one of those opportunities when you want to aggressively go long. It was a time to go long when I made this video when the SPY was at 480, 485. Now, it's not necessarily a great time. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your weekend. All right, love you guys. Have a good one. Take care.